Who do you serve? We serve chiropractic. Think about this. The servant serves the master. That means that the servant arrives at work. The master says, please, go and get me some water. What does the servant say? Yes, sir. Goes and gets it and comes back. The master says, kill her. What does the servant say? Okay, kills her. What's next? We have this so twisted. If the patient comes in and says, would you cut my toenails? What would you say? No. Yes, because you just said you serve the patients. We do nothing at the pleasure of the patients. We do everything at the pleasure of chiropractic. And if I have a deep-rooted understanding of what chiropractic is, that will dictate my actions on a day-to-day basis. By serving chiropractic, I am able to go out and serve the world. Making an impression is done to please who? People. People. Either me or you or that particular patient who's with me at the time. Making an impact is serving a cause greater than that. So we've got to then transcend ourselves past this. I'm here to serve you. Oh, is there any way you could crack my knee? No, because see, that doesn't fit into this greater good that I serve. Now, I'm going to draw that back for you, but I need for you just to first get that point. We don't serve the people. That's impression thinking. We serve the cause. That's impact thinking. We've got too many people out there. Oh, well, the reason I do X, Y, and Z is because the people want it. Exactly. That's the problem, because you're people-minded. You're impression-minded. You're money-minded. You want to make a big impression. If we got back to serving chiropractic, we would look at what chiropractic is, we would find out what was best for chiropractic, and then our actions would be dictated by that. And by doing that, guess what happens? Tons of sick people get well. Wow, what a noble concept. You know, and we're like, oh, well, how am I going to get all these sick people? Well, you know, we got to serve chiropractic. Most of the people who have really counted in my life were not famous. Nobody ever heard of them except those who knew and loved them. I knew an old minister once. His hair was white, his face shone. I have written my name on thousands of baseballs in my life. The old minister wrote his on a few simple hearts. How I envy him. He was not trying to please himself. Fame never came to him. I am listed as a famous home runner, yet beside that obscure minister who was so good and so wise, I never got to first base. That was Babe Ruth. You know, a lot of people think that, you know, Babe Ruth had a giant ego and a giant head and it was all about himself. He understood that it's about what you're doing. Listen, that near celebrity status of the chiropractors of today, I've heard Billy talk about this. How could you not want to be in practice? How could you want to be a professional speaker? Because then you're not touching people's lives. You've got to at least be in your office, because that's when you're writing your name, inscribing your name on people's hearts, an indelible mark that will transcend time. This conversation that we're having tonight will be over shortly. An indelible mark is that which you left, and I don't even know those people that you were with today, yesterday, and tomorrow. Those will stay for all mankind, because they will share that with their sons and daughters. Putting people on pedestals who are not even coming close to what this man did. Let's go back and figure out what he did first before we start praising the people that are doing less than that. Let's figure out what he was doing. This man made a ridiculous impact. He's the reason why we're here. His picture is up on the walls. My picture's not up on anybody's walls other than my parents. So let's take a moment to just say, wow. The same way that we look at Martin Luther King and know instantaneously what he did, and Nelson Mandela and Mother Teresa know instantaneously what they did and what they stood for. Everybody in this room needs to know who he was, what he did, and what he stood for. And if you don't, you've got to find out, because that's why we're here. If it wasn't for that, we would have been gone a long time ago. And I tell you what, in 2012, we need another one of these to show up. I mean, we're just dying for it. I know a very, very, very popular speaker that says the reason why we don't get the same results that BJ got is because of monosodium glutamate, high fructose corn syrup, and excitotoxins in the diet. And I'm here today to tell you that's a bunch of crap. The reason we don't get the same results BJ got is because you don't adjust like he did. That's it. How many of BJ's patients smoked?
All of them.
How many of BJ's patients lived in asbestos-lined houses? How many of BJ's patients had lead in the paint and the walls? So stop telling that crap that that's the reason why they're sick. The reason they're sick is because you're not committed to this.